Let me enable my microphone. I hope my microphone is audible. Let me just confirm one more time. Okay, OBS Meet, USB condenser microphone. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
So
I think everything is great. So if you have any question, please start asking the questions in the chat box, and I'll start answering the questions. And actually, I have list of the questions which are really important that I have picked over the this particular week, and I think those questions will cover everything. Okay, so do one thing. If you are able to hear me clearly, like crystal clear, if there is not any issue, please say something in the chat box, because right now I'm using new system, so there might be issues. Okay, so please say that. Okay, so let's start with the questions that I have collected over the week. So very first question is about the force post. So how exactly is a force post is work? Okay, so let me give you a simple example right now. Let's do one thing. Let's Okay, so in the force post, let me explain with the basic example first of all before going into the any demonstration. So force post is nothing but when client sends something to the server. So when we go to the Facebook login page, when we enter our email address, password, and send to the click on the login button. Okay, so when we click on the login button, what exactly happens, that credentials or that request goes to the backend, right, using the post request. Okay, it will not go using get request, it will only go using the post request. So force post is a method by which we can basically intercept that particular post request and we can modify data. Okay, so for example, I am opening the my Facebook page, and in my Facebook page, let's say I am logging into the username Fluxset and password is XYZ. Okay, so when I press login, I can actually intercept that particular request in the force post, and I can say instead of username to the Fluxset, set username to Flux only, or let's say celeb insta, something like that. Okay, so basically force post is a functionality which can be used to modify the request. Okay, to modify the post content of the request. Okay, so where it is useful, so let's say you are doing Facebook login. So when we do Facebook login, we get username, we get password, and we get the checkbox for remember me. Okay, so third thing is remember me checkbox. So let's say a username is directly logging in using the username and password, but they are not checking the remember me button. So what you can do is you can intercept that particular request using the force post, and you can mention there, click the remember me to the one means enable, that enable flag. Okay, so basically yes, this is how we can use the force post. Similarly, we can use the force get also to modify the get parameter in the request. Okay, but by default Evilginx doesn't support that force get method. If you want to support that particular force get method, then what you need to do is you need to basically uh, add custom modifications in the code. I have implemented force get in one of my version of the Evilginx that I have modified, and which is available in the study material package. Okay, so yeah, in that I have added the force get method also. In that I have added the caching mechanism also, because sometimes when we create the link from the Evilginx, it is really slow. It will load files like crazy slow. To complete or loading the website, it will take 1 minute 2 minutes. So that's why I enable the caching mechanism in the Evilginx, so that whatever we are getting the files, that we needs to be get only one time, and after that it will just serve from the caching, making the phishing sites really fast. Okay, great. Now yeah, that about the force get method. Now let's go to the chat box. Okay, Zeph is saying I can hear you. Can we use the Google Chromium for Google Fishlet? Yes, of course you can use it, See, you can use any environment, but it really depends the setup for that particular environment. Okay, so it's up to you how you use it. If you are planning to use Google Chroming for Google Fishlet, that is also good, but also check that which browser and which versions are your target is using. Otherwise, that will be useless. Okay, whatever you do, that will be useless. Okay, how to remove the IOC headers in the Evilginx? Okay, so I'm not sure what is a IOC. Do one thing, please put in the chat box what exactly is a IOC. Okay, basically I will tell you in the Evilginx, whatever the default Evilginx is there on the GitHub, that has a detection mechanism. Okay, so basically it will tell that some user is phishing your site. How? Basically when we add fishlet, basically we add a fishlet in that particular source code, it will add one extra header which is x Evilginx, or it will say Evilginx. That is the header which is being sent to the original website. So basically if you talk about the Google, Yahoo, Office and all other popular websites, what they basically does is whatever the request coming from the user, they will just if the x Evilginx header is present or not. If that header is present, that means Evilginx is being used by the customer. Okay, so this is how they detect if someone is using Evilginx or not. And this is how exactly Google also detect, Google bots also detect that if you are phishing or not, and based on that they make your pages red. Obviously there are other things also to make pages red, such as if someone is reporting your link or something like that. But the yes, the X Evilginx header also plays quite a good part in this one. Okay, so in order to fix that, by the way, I have already fixed that in my version of the source code, which is available in the study material package. Okay, but see, in order to fix that, what you need to do is in whole source code, wherever it is adding the that particular header, you need to remove that. And the second thing is Evilginx also adding the original domain in the header, which is basically phishing domain R. Okay, so that is also being used for the detection. That also we can remove. If you remove these two things, then 90% job is done. Your pages will not most likely go red, because those default filters are not there. Sorry, the default headers are not there, and whatever the default scanners are there on the internet which scan for the links and metadata, they will basically check if those headers are there, because that's the popular way for detection. Other ways are there, but that will like need really good compute. So they will use common methods. In the common methods, it really depends on the headers, and if you manage to bypass those headers, then yeah, your Evilginx will be undetectable. But make sure that you are not using just IP address of the server. You are adding some kind of static residential proxy, sorry, dynamic residential proxy, so that after 1 minute, after 2 minutes, IP keeps changing. So this way a website will also think that okay, these are the new users and all. Okay, yes, do that thing. Okay, why are the cookies from the Evilginx are not working even when it was captured? Yes, really good question, Jeff. Let me explain that. There is an issue in the Evilginx software. When Evilginx software captures the cookie, it will only capture the part of the cookie. Okay, so Jeff, can you do one thing? If you have any sample, can you just paste in the chat box? Because see, I'll tell you usually what happens. Okay, let me share my screen, that will be much easier actually. I'm not sure, can I make my cam little bit smaller? Yes, I can. Okay, not this browser, let me open new browser. I'll give you a live demonstration about the cookies. Just give me 1 second. So first of all, use the cookie editor plugin, which is this one. This plugin basically help us to uh, extract the cookie, inject the cookie. Okay, it can help with the both of the things. Okay, so by using this particular plugin, what we are going to do is we are going to check the cookie for this particular Chrome web store. Okay, so let me just say this site allow, and when I click here, can you see I get lot of cookies here. So I'll just click on the export, I'll click on the JSON. Okay, and let me open the notepad to show you what I have copied. Okay, uh, something is wrong. Okay, let me enter here, and can you see in these cookies there are a lot of stuff. For example, this cookie is saying domain google.com, expiration date is xyz, host only equals to false, http only equals to false, name of the cookie is this one, and path of the cookie is this one. So all of this part will be included in the Evilginx captured cookies. But if the same site is null, if the secure equal to true, if the session equal to false, if the store id is equal to null, it is not covered in that particular captured cookies. So what you need to do is, when you are using is capture the cookie, paste into the notepad or VS code, and make sure that you are adding these things. Okay, and once you add these things, then inject the cookie. Okay, because most of the time you have noticed that when we delete all of this shit, and when we actually try to import by pasting the cookies right here, what happens is we paste the cookies, but when we paste cookies and click on the import, we see that nothing is imported, this section will be empty. Why? Because the headers, sorry, the flags are not matching in the cookie, so that's why the cookies are not getting injected in the first place. Okay, that's the bug in the Evilginx. Not exactly bug, but that's the logic bug, you can say, because the way Evilginx designed, it is only captures the cookie, the expiration time, the time when it is created, and that stuff. It will not able to capture, because those are the flag whatever are there, that will be set by the browser and the website JavaScript, whatever it is being used there. Okay, it is not dependent on the server side stuff. So, okay, so that's why yeah, the Evilginx has that particular bug. Do one thing, just modify the cookies like this, add these as things. And best way to do is, let's say I am creating fishlet for, let's say, Chrome Web Store. Then what I do is, on the original website I will check the export cookie JSON, and I'll paste here, and I'll check what is in the cookies, and I'll copy the Evilginx captured cookie and I'll paste here too, and I'll compare both of the things side by side. So here also I have SAP ISID, and in Evilginx capture also I will have that same exact cookie. But in the Evilginx I will not have these particular things present, or might be sometimes this also will be not present. So what I will do is, I'll just cross check and add whatever is missing, and then inject the cookies. Okay, great. I think you have understood everything. Okay, let me go back to the chat, and let me see if there are any other chat. Okay, great. So yeah, that's what I am talking about, the X Evilginx. Yes, yes, yes. So basically, Shaif, that particular fix called as Easter egg fix, Easter egg fix of the Evilginx, which I have already fixed. I have created this source code. If you want it, you can get in the study material package. Okay, great. Can you give me idea how the flow of the flow to use the caddy, Apache, Nginx, and additional proxy layer sitting in the front of the Evilginx instance? Oh, see, that's a really big problem. So last time what I did is, I basically tried to configure the Evilginx with the Nginx, and I faced crazy issues. Okay, so when I was using the older version of the Evilginx, I was able to achieve using Nginx plus Evilginx. How? In the Nginx, we have one option called proxy pass. What is the proxy pass? Whenever we are opening website in our browser, what happens? It makes SSL connection. Okay, usually what happens, when that SSL connection reach to the Nginx, Nginx will decrypt that particular traffic, and then it will send to the backend website, whatever it is that we are using in the proxy, right? But in the Evilginx case, what is the problem is, Evilginx itself is operating in the HTTP connection, HTTPS connection with the security layer. Okay, and our browser is also pinging the HTTPS connection, and by default, if these two connections are the HTTPS, then Nginx also has to be HTTPS connection. Okay, but if I try to add one more SSL certificate in the Nginx and then try to use, then what happens, there is a conflict between SSL certificate. Okay, that is causing the problem. So in the Nginx we have one function called proxy pass. So what exactly proxy pass does is, when the request is coming, without decrypting the traffic, it will just forward that traffic to the backend website. Okay, we call Nginx proxy pass. So that was working like literally really crazy, really good in the past. But in few days, I'm not sure what is the problem. Is it the Nginx latest version is a problem, or something else is problem? But like it's not working. And forget about the Caddy and Apache, because they don't support proxy pass, so we cannot use this. There is only chance with the Nginx to use with the Evilginx. Okay, only Nginx. You cannot use Apache or whatever it is. If you are using Apache or Caddy, you might need, I don't know, different configuration. But as per my views, as per my opinion, as per my advice, there is no point using the Caddy and Apache. Please try to use the Nginx, because Nginx configurations are widely available. ChatGPT also can help. If you just type proxy pass in the ChatGPT, that will also give good answer. Okay, but you need to make that proxy pass look with your setup, match with your setup. That's it. Okay, great. What is the best site for get DNS? See, one of the fastest DNS is a Cloudflare DNS. One of the fastest. You add one record right now, within milliseconds it will be updated. It doesn't have to update. When you add the record, just start using it somewhere, it will work. That how fast the Cloudflare is. Okay, so that's why I recommend the Cloudflare. And Cloudflare don't have any checks. They don't take the credit card, they don't take the valid email address. You can just go to the temp mail, use that particular email and create the Cloudflare account, as simple as that. No extra layer of the authentication. So I'll suggest go with the Cloudflare. If you don't have option for the Cloudflare, then I'll suggest go with some dedicated DNS. Okay, and obviously the Google is also there, but yeah, we have to get some service from the Google. And when we get that service, they will basically verify your passport, that stuff. And I don't think so. You should do that. Get the Cloudflare, best option. Okay, Jeff is saying, is there a way to fix the Evilginx source code to make it capture the cookies correctly? See, there is a biggest flaw in the Evilginx. What is the flaw? When the Evilginx is designed, the founder itself assumed that whatever the cookies are there, that will be only in the response. Why he assumed? Because let's say I am doing Facebook login. When I enter the username, when I enter the password, what happens? That will go to the backend, and backend will give me the trading token. It can be JWT token, it can be any other token, right? So founder might have thought that okay, the important part is response. So we should only capture the cookies in the response. But the problem is, what if there is a client side generated token? So that's the biggest problem, right? So we need to capture that particular token too. So we need to modify the Evilginx source code to capture the tokens in the request also. Right now it is only capturing the token in the response, but we have to modify to the capture in the request also. I have done that in my one of my project, but I'm not sure, I lost that particular source code, but I'll try to create that source code for you, and I'll paste in the study material package. Okay, great. And now, Madji, where to get the base domain? See, my thought about the domain is quite clear. If you are doing the testing, if you are just learning, you don't give a shit about any other stuff, then I'll suggest get the domain from the Namecheap. One of the cheapest option is available there. You can get domain as low as $1 per year. Okay, that much cheap. Dot net domains, I guess these domain are having the sales right now. So yeah, you can get domain there. But if you are doing actual stuff, you want to hide something, if you fear from something, then I'll suggest get domain from the bulletproof services. So for example, there is a one service called Shinjeru offer the VPS also, Shinjeru offer the domains also. You can go ahead and get there. Okay, but make sure that you are using for legal purpose. Okay, great. Ray saying hello Ray. I'm able to bypass the Yahoo reCAPTCHA. Yes, congratulations. do one thing, share if it's let be with me too. I also would like to know that how exactly you were able to do that, because there was a problem with my solution. Okay, so yes, Ray, do one thing, let me know how you were able to do that. Okay, but right now I'll just hide your comment because that is not you supposed to say in the chat box. Okay, great. uh, okay, explain how we can bypass the AOL reCAPTCHA even with the course file I got doesn't. Okay, so see, people are complaining about the reCAPTCHA course is not helping. See, the biggest problem is you're not watching the video completely. I have one problem. I know I have knowledge, I know I can deliver the knowledge, but the sequence in which I deliver the knowledge, that is really shit. Because like I'm really confused what should be first, what should be next. Okay, that's my biggest problem. So I have already explained everything in about the captcha in the course also, but the sequence is missing. What people are doing, they are just playing the video, watching some time, fast forwarding a little bit, and okay, just pause. Okay, I got the idea, he's not doing it. Or they will just click here, there, and jump around the video. They are not watching the complete video. I suggest please watch complete video without skipping and then talk to me. Okay, and I found one crazy person, he just purchased the course and he is saying he's just asking the questions about the setup. So basic common sense is you check the course first and then you ask the questions. I'm not here free all day to answer your like simple questions. That's why I have created the course. Get the course, learn from it. If you face any question after the course, then ask the question. And people are just not watching the videos in the first place. Okay, that's the biggest problem. Okay. Uh, you didn't talk about the Evilginx thing in the course file. Yes, you are right. I'm not talking about the Evilginx header in the course file because Evilginx header I discovered after I recorded the course. Okay, so definitely in the upgrade videos I will add Evilginx also. And for the those who are purchase the both course and study material, for them I have already shared the fix for it. Okay, I have shared the fix source code also. I have shared the fix in the text also how to do it. Okay, those who are purchasing the both things. Okay, great. But I tell you brother, for sure in 2 days I will add about the video about the Evilginx also, and there is a one more topic that I need to mention. Let me write on my notepad. I'll definitely add those videos there. Okay, so now let's move forward. I was able to fix shit. This please don't post something like this here. Okay, that is against the chat policies of the YouTube. Otherwise, my content will be not get monetized. Okay, try to understand that stuff. Please don't post here. If there is any sensitive kind of questions, please ask personally. Don't just put in here in the chat box. That's warning for the Ray also. That is warning for the this guy cosmetics bluebird also. Okay, great. Jeff is basically saying demonstrate to us how to force get remember me AOL Yahoo so we can understand. Okay, Jeff. Okay, Gabe. Hmm. Right now, Jeff, the problem is if you check in the background here, this system is new. Usually I work, if you, I know like we had little calls, Jeff, so I know you know me. So usually I call from the Ubuntu, right? So right now I'm using this different system, which is not my system. Okay, I use Ubuntu system. So right now I'm not in my current system hard drive, so that's why I cannot just demonstrate you. But the thing is, Jeff, yes, do one thing, I'll add that video in the force get video in the force post video in the course also. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that, Jeff. I'll definitely add that video. Okay, let me make my cam little bit bigger. Okay, great. Next question. You never spoke about how to modify the Evilginx when the domain gets redirected like iCloud etc. Yes, I have checked the folder name advanced on demand videos, and in that particular video I have talked about it. Okay, I am not sure which video, but I have already told how to modify 302. And if you are listening right now, I will tell you logic right now also. What you need to do is in the on response section of the code, you need to basically check if request status code is 302, and if the request url dot path includes xyz path, then do this modification. Simple. And reset the location header. That's it. And if I am not wrong, I have already shared this in the Fluxset website. Okay, and it is also present in that particular video. If you don't find video, just message me using your current username in the telegram. I'll definitely share that video with you. Okay, great. Now, what is the base version of the of your experience in the Evilginx that relay what is this relates to the use today, because the version has its a drawback. Yes, definitely. See, the best version is Evilginx integration with the Evil Puppet. Okay, why I'm recommending that? Because it is not opening the headerless browser; it is opening exactly. See, when you use that particular version, which is Evilginx plus Evil Puppet, then you have to get bigger server. So right now for normal Evilginx setup, let's say you are getting server for 1 core 1 GB RAM. But in case of Evil Puppet plus Evilginx, you have to get server which has more than 4 GB RAM. Because when we do the Evil Puppet setup, we have to install the GUI, graphical user interface also. Okay, so that's why it creates additional load on the system. That's why we have to get the biggest bigger server, probably more than 4 GB RAM and 2 core processors. That's it. Okay, but yeah, that's the best version of the Evilginx. Okay, Evilginx plus Evil Puppet integration. Great. Please, how to we can bypass the Yahoo CAPTCHA and what to look out of for it? See, I have already told you, like, to bypass the CAPTCHA, what you need basically, what you need to do basically is you modify the gate parameter of the request. So in the when the CAPTCHA is filled and when it is time to redirect, at that moment what happens, captcha basically send one request to the backend that this challenge has been completed and checkbox is there, and it will set url encoded or sometimes base encoded string of the domain, and that will be in the get parameter. So you need to just modify that and also check that if that particular string is present in the any other header or not. If it is there, then you just need to modify that. If you manage to do that, you bypass the recaptcha. Okay, great. Which software or the website can I use to make my lore to be an image? Which software or website can I use to make my lores to be in image? To be in image. Are you talking about the QR code, or are you talking about the steganography? So steganography is a technique where you can hide the text or links in the images. So are you talking about that, or are you talking about the normal QR code? By basically we can use the Lowe's ring to create the QR code so that people can scan and do the stuff. Okay, are you talking about that? If you are talking about that, then obviously there are a hell lot of softwares available online. You can say free QR code creator, and you can create link for anything, any QR code. Okay, and if you are talking about the steganography, then usually in the steganography I recommend, if you are using like a really serious stuff, then create your own tool. It's not a complex. It is quite simple. If you ask ChatGPT will give you steganography tool for that, and it will give for encrypting also, it will give for decrypting also. You have to be like really good prompter. Okay, how we can get the Evilginx plus Evil Puppet modification? Ah, interesting. I have one source code that one subscriber shared with me. So I think I'll share that particular source code in the uh, Evilginx study material package. Okay. And please talk about these sub filters cause it's tricky. See, about this sub filter, it's already covered in the course, but anyway, I'll just say it to you. Learn how to use the burp. When you know how to use the burp, you will come to know how to see the host which are going sent to the which are being seen sending the data from the browser. So once you get list of the host, list of the domains, in that particular domain, whatever the domain that are directly related to the original website, you just create the proxy for that. That's the proxy host. Now in the proxy host, if you have to make a changes in the content of the response, in that case you use this subfilter. Let's say in the website response I have to, in the website response, okay, James. Okay, in the website response, let's say you want to modify the name Fluxet with the Crux, Fluxet with the, let's say, James, Fluxet with the Simon, something like that. Then in that case, you can use the subfilter. For subfilter, I'll give you one more example. Okay, so let me say Evilginx, and I'll say fishlets. Okay, not the fishlet. I'll say GitHub, because in the GitHub it's easy. Okay, so in the GitHub, let's say this is the fishlet and this is the default fishlet. So here in the sub filter, what is exactly is happening? It is saying triggered on. So triggered on means the main domain of the original site, okay, where you want to make the response changes. Then original subdomain. If it has an original subdomain, then okay. Otherwise, don't mention anything. Just remove that part. Then domain, obviously the domain and trigger domain is going to be same. Then search for something. So you can say search for, let's say, anything in the response, literally anything. You can add JavaScript, CSS, you can add plain HTML, you can add any string, you can add text. Let's say I'm creating fishlet for my Fluxet website and I want to replace that Fluxet with the Firefly. Then I'll add a Fluxet here, I'll add a Firefly here. And in the MIME type, I need to mention the MIME type in which I want to do modification. Let's say in the HTML body only, I want to do modification, then I will say text HTML. If I want to do modification in the JavaScript also, then I will say application JavaScript or application X JavaScript. If I want to make a modify in the JSON, then I will say application JSON. Okay, that's it. And by the way, you can add many. So this is right here. Let me just click on the edit. I am not sure it will allow. No, it is not allowing. Okay, let me go here in the notepad. Let me paste here. Shit. Okay. What the okay. See here, what I can do is basically here I can just add the comma, and here like a application, I can say application slash JavaScript. Okay, something like this I can do it. I think that explanation is enough. If you have more doubt, please do one thing, check the videos in the course and watch it clearly. Okay, great. Where is my chat? uh, James is saying yes, it's a lores image. Okay, hiding the lores. Okay, James, it really depends for what purpose you are hiding, and on that particular purpose, basically, the solution also depends. So I'll suggest, if it is really serious, then I'll suggest create your own tool using the Chat GPT, and if it is publicly needs to be publicly recognized or something like that, then use any online tool. Okay, great. In the Kali Linux, by the way, you get by default tool for this one in the Kali Linux and Parrot OS. Okay, great. Simon, please explain what we have to look out for a good configuration on the sub filters. There is a not nothing such thing as a good configuration. I'll tell you why. So basically, it really depends on your website. See, if the website is using some kind of protection and you need to bypass it, then you can, let's say, if the protection is in the JavaScript, then let's say you want to replace some part of the JavaScript. So in that case, you have to use the subfilter. For some website, there is a no additional JavaScript. It is just Google's default JavaScript, which is for Ajax calls, and that's it. So in that case, there is a no modification required, right? So yeah, it really depends on you what modifications you want, how much complex your website is, and on that there is a thing called subfilter. Okay, that's it. There is a no thing as a good subfilter. No things. Okay, it really depends on your own use cases how you want to do it. But once you get the idea of this subfilter, once you get the concept of the subfilter, it makes crazy easy to implement in your own logics. Great. Uh, okay. Um, is that between the referral and see? You can add subfilters anywhere in the fishlet. It is not necessary that you should add in the some order. So let's say the subfilters are here. Let's say subfilters are here, right? So basically you can, instead of here, you can add subfilters here also. Here also, if you are asking about the locations, you can add here also. At the end of the day, the file is getting parsed and it is checking for the key called subfilter. It doesn't matter if you are entering that key here. It doesn't matter if it is in the beginning, in the middle. No, it doesn't matter. Okay. At the end of the day, it is parsing for the only that particular key. So when you, like, it doesn't matter if you put anywhere in the file, it is going to be passed that anyway. Okay, great. Simon, Samson is there. Oh shit, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Will the host be the trigger on the referrer? Will be what we can modify, or tell me one thing, have you bought the course? My first question for Samson is, have you bought the course? Because if you have, then you shouldn't ask that particular question. Everything is clearly mentioned like crystal clear. Okay, I'll suggest get the course. Support me too, guys. Like, get the course. Okay. Gaurav, sir, how to do domain fluxon? What is the flux ION? How to do the domain fluxon? What does this mean? Let me do the Google. Fluxon is a remake of line set by VK496 with enhanced something. What is the Fluxon? Fluxon is the feature of MIT. Oh shit, it's a new tool. Oh, but it's for WPA attacks, brother. It's a MTM for WPA. So it is only applicable in the case of the wireless attacks on the Wi-Fi, on the network. Oh, but we are talking here about the Evilginx. We are not talking about the Wi-Fi and all. But in my opinion, the best MITM attack is where we deauth the packets and then capture the handshake, right? And then crack with the NG crack and something that, right? That's the most effective way actually, because like there are a lot of tools, but they don't work with all of the newest Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 3. Okay, they don't work with that, right? Wi-Fi 6, they don't work with that. They only work with the like old versions. But when it comes to the deauth packets and that stuff, that logic, then it works with the all versions of the Wi-Fi. Basically, what you do is when if you are asking questions, but let's anyway, this is my host, this is my mobile phone. If these two are connected, then my laptop will send deauth packets to my mobile phone. It will be deauth and it will try to authenticate again one more time, and that time my laptop will capture the packet, and that I can decrypt using the ngcrack. Yes, that's the most effective way, in my opinion. If you have any additional knowledge, please let me know, because I am also learning. Okay, James is saying, explain also using the burp to create the fishlet. James is already in the course, please check the course. Okay. Samson is saying, for the subfilters, looks like it is easy to modify the response rather than request. Yes, there is nothing such. So Evilginx has a limitations. In the Evilginx, we can modify only response using the subfilter. It is not providing the tools to modify the request. In the modification of the request, there are only one tool available, which is force post. That's it. In which we can modify the body of the post. That's it. Apart from that, I don't think so any modification is being done in the request. Apart from replacing the phishing domains with the original domains. Okay. If you want to add functions, you can always add. Just learn the Golang and you know start adding. Your no one is stopping you. Okay. Oh, okay. AIMESMSK. Explain an issue where you have created a fishlet. It works on the Firefox, but it is not in the Chrome. Chrome detects it by showing a red screen with a message that it's a dangerous site. See, that means your Evilginx setup is, see, when we use the Firefox browser, when we use the Edge browser, these are really small browsers. They don't have big market share. Biggest market share is from the Chrome browser, Chromium browser, and Brave browser. And all of these browsers are based on the Chrome, which is handled by the Google, obviously the Google. And they have the website, they have the responsibility as a market leader to identify the phishing site and update in their database. And once it is updated in their database, after some time, like 1-2 day, they will allow to Firefox to check their database. They will allow to check that particular entry to the Edge browser. Okay, they are not allowing it in the real time. So that's why once the phishing is detected, it will become red in the Chrome, but it will not become red in the Firefox or Edge browser. It will take some time to become a red. Okay, that's the first logic. Second thing is, if it is becoming red, that means it is detecting your Evilginx software. How to avoid detection of the Evilginx software? I just explained how you can remove the Evilginx header. That will help a lot. Okay, it can remove the original host also. And apart from that, I have covered in the course dedicated 2 videos just to bypass that particular stuff. Okay, great. So right now, I think we have reached to the point where I should stop the live. I got quite a good questions. Thanks for that. And yeah, please keep supporting like this only. And if you have any additional questions in the future, do one thing, just create the full list of the questions and then send it to me. Don't send one question, two question, because it consumes like time from my side. If you send complete list to me, it is much easier to answer your questions. And I'll suggest, rather than going there, do one thing, go to my website, which is, oh, I need this one to study, fluxset.com. That's my website. So on this particular website, you can create the topics here, login, create account, whatever it is, you can create the topics here. Can you see people are asking the questions here, set up Evilginx 2 on this server or VPS. Okay, so here this some guy had a questions, so he just started asking question here, there is answer, then again question, there is answer. So basically complete discussion is there. So whatever issue you are facing, that will be definitely resolved here. So do one thing, whenever you ask the question, either ask here or ask in the YouTube chat box, because that's where if I answer, then I don't have to answer again and again each and every single guy, because I will just say I have answered somewhere, go there and check it. That's it. Okay. So please do one thing, whenever you ask the question, make a list of the questions. Doesn't matter if there are 50 questions, 60 questions, just make a list of the questions, send it to me. Okay. or either come to this particular site, ask the question by creating new topic. This way I will answer and other people who has knowledge of the Evilginx also answer the question. That's the best way to go. Great. Let me check the chat and let me end this stream because my voice is now reaching to the end. Last question. Please, when you were creating a fishlet for Google, it worked for you but didn't work for me. I tried to some method step by step and it is not working. Yeah, I know it is not working. And by the way, I have got the Google fishlet working. The only thing is, okay, definitely I'll talk to the Telegram. Please make sure that you are sending something on the Telegram. Okay, now let me tell you about the Google Fishlet. So I have solved the Google Fishlet and it is basically solvable with the Evil Puppet setup. So, and definitely I have done lot of research. So I am planning to contact me on Telegram. Okay, great. Okay, guys, thanks for watching and keep supporting, keep asking the questions. And if you want, like, really want to support me, there is a super chat, there is a donation button on the YouTube, or you can just purchase the course also, right? Or you can just donate me on the website also or PayPal also. So yeah, please keep supporting and I'll just keep creating the content like this, really interesting good content. And yeah, learn you too and let me learn too. And keep supporting, keep donating 2 times. Okay. Okay, great. James, based at a SMTP server, how to get and create one. See, I'm not expert in the SMTP, but usually I say people who has a good SMTP, they just directly buy the IP ranges from the provider like that Contabo, or one more guy was there. What was his name? One of the popular provider, I guess. Uh, the popular provider which offers the cPanel hosting by default. What was the name of that provider? I'll tell you, James, definitely in the Telegram. So there are only two ways: either get your own IP range or get your IP range from some guys like 100 200 IP addresses from, let's say, Contabo, and configure it on one server and use the what was that? Use the SMTP, not the SMTP. I think what was the name? It is a SMTP software, but it's a proprietary SMTP software that we can set up on our server. I forgot the name of that software. I have worked on that software. Uh, yeah. It's a proprietary software. A lot of guys use it. Configure your all IPs there and add the bouncing IPs, or you can say changeable IPs. That means it will send 100 emails from this IP, 100 emails from this IP, 100 emails from this IP. So this way you get the liberty to, uh, basically diversify in the accounts. So this way your SMTP will be have higher success rate in delivering. And obviously there are things like setting the headers, setting the DNS record rights, getting the 10 on 10 score, and after that then think about the this IP stuff. Okay, and please don't get the IP addresses which are not blocked. Okay, don't forget to get this share edited Evilginx that captures the cookies correctly, and don't forget to see one version of the Evilginx is already posted in the, I think, uh, what we call that, study material group, study material package. Okay, and about the request cookie capturing, I will edit that and I'll definitely post in the, by the way, I'm copying your message to share with me. Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching. See you in the next, guys. Where is my stop stream button?